out there somewhere, alone and frightened. Oh, the darkness, the days are long. Life's been hiding, now I'm making new contracts. No more loving arms thrown around my neck.
Take my hand now, I'm kinda lonely. Give me love, give me hope. Don't desert me, don't reject me. All I need is love and understanding.
Today is me, tomorrow someone else. It's me and you, we gotta stand up and fight. We'll share a light in the fight against hate. Let's come on out, let's come together, fight hate. In times of joy, in times of sorrow, let's take a stand and fight until the end. With open hearts, let's stand up and speak out to the world. We'll save some lives, save the children of the world. Let's be open, advise the young ones, a new generation to protect and love. Hear them singing, playing, laughing. Let's give them everything in truth and love.
Take the message, cross the frontier, break the barrier, we'll fight together. The doors are open, we'll lead the struggle. We won't bow down, and defeat will fight on.
Today is me, tomorrow someone else. It's me and you, we gotta stand out and fight. We'll shed a light in the fight against hate. Let's come on out and stand together, fight hate. In times of joy, in times of sorrow, let's take a stand and fight until the end. We open hearts, let's stand up and speak out to the world. We'll save some lives, save the children of the world. Today is me, tomorrow someone else. It's me and you, we gotta stand out and fight. We'll share a light in the fire against hate. Let's come on out, let's stand together and fight hate. Greetings to you all. Good day, Sanbonani. Habari. Welcome to the Victor Mukasa Show with your host, Victor Mukasa. Today, December 1st, 2021. The year is coming to an end. This is no regular day. It is, in fact, World AIDS Day. A very important day that we are joining the rest of the world here at the Victor Mukasa Show in commemorating or observing. This day, in way of background, was started in 1988. And the reason that it was started and put there as a day that we need to observe every year is to renew our commitment as humanity to ending HIV/AIDS as a public health threat. It is indeed a threat to humanity, and the fight is still on. And despite all the achievements, there are challenges that still exist. And it is a fight that we need to keep fighting and renew our commitment today. This year, the global theme for the World AIDS Day: End Inequalities, End AIDS. I got that from the World Health Organization, and I know that all countries around the world are modeling their themes around that. It is End Inequalities and AIDS. It is a special day to all of us. I'm sure everybody out there has been affected in one way or another with HIV and AIDS. I have been. Both of my parents died in 1990 of HIV and AIDS. So I have seen AIDS, I have touched it, I have smelt it, watching my parents leave this world gradually because of AIDS. So here at the Victor Mukasa Show, as usual, we have brought you a special guest who is a very dear friend of mine for decades. Peter Njane from Kenya is the executive director of ISHTAR MSM. He is an AIDS activist and also a human rights defender working around LGBTQIA plus human rights. Please help me welcome Peter Njane, who I also call Pete's, to this show. Yes, Peter.
Thank you. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you.
Welcome to the Victor Mukasa Show.
Thank you for having me in the show. Thank you so much.
It is so good to see you again after decades. A decade,
You
actually.
know?
I last met you physically in Cape Town about 11 years ago.
Yes.
And
Wow.
I have been following your work. You've been doing amazing work
Thank
for
you.
our communities.
Thank you.
Pete, I introduced you to our viewers, listeners out there. And I believe that I did some justice, but probably not enough justice to that introduction. I request you to introduce yourself once again to our listeners and viewers.
All right. Thank you so much for having me at Victor Mukasa Show. I'm honored to be here, and especially on this day that we celebrate the World AIDS Day. I think for me it's a special moment. It's a day that we reflect of what we have done and moving forward, especially on issues on HIV and AIDS. So to start with, my name is Peter Njane. I'm the director at ISHTAR MSM. And ISHTAR MSM is a community-based organization that works with men who have sex with men. We have an exclusively gay clinic. We have an exclusively men who have sex with men clinic, whereby it's run by the community. It's community-led. Like 90% of our staff are LGBTI community. And currently we have given services to 6,500 gay men in Nairobi. So it's a huge number that we give services.
Wow.
And also, I'm also a board member of we call it Kenya Coordinating Mechanism. This is the CCM and the Global Fund. I represent the key population. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Pete, for this introduction. I just got something so phenomenal out of that introduction. I remember you as a grassroots activist. Years ago. We used to galvanize together in our communities. And in your introduction, I just heard that you are actually a part of teams that are actually effecting policy,
Yes.
HIV policy in Kenya.
Yes.
And that is for the nation.
We are part of the decision making. We are in the table and the decision are being made in this country. We are part of that decision making process.
Gay men, openly gay men.
Yes.
That is wonderful. And I think that is a very, very big step and something that we should be proud of as queer communities in Africa. That at some point, nobody wanted to look at us. And today we sit at tables and plan with others for our nations.
Yes.
Bravo, bro. High five.
Thank you.
Really
Thank
salute
you.
you
You
for
come
that.
a long way. Thank you so much.
I want to talk about this another day so that you explain to us. And this is amazing work. 6,500 men who have sex with men that you are serving in Kenya.
Yes.
That is amazing work. So what is the main focus of ISHTAR?
So our main focus in ISHTAR is one, service delivery. By service delivery, I mean we give HIV counseling and testing, STI screening, and also we give ARVs. And also we are also doing a lot of capacity building for our community. There's a component of capacity building. There's a component on research. As you know, nowadays, everything has to be evidence-based. So as a community-based organization, what we are doing much is to gather evidence, document the kind of work we are doing so that it shows that, one, we exist. Secondly, these are the kind of issues that might come out of those research. So I think we have realized in our component that research is one of the major things that need to be embodied in the work we do. The other thing that we do is a lot of advocacy. As you know, as I said earlier, that I'm in the CCM, in the policy making. So that work has to be where I am. A lot of advocacy has been done. A lot of sensitization, creation of awareness. So those are the four components of ISHTAR that we do: service delivery, advocacy, research, and service delivery.
Wonderful. And I have been following your social media handles of ISHTAR MSM. I see a lot of work. I remember in the past, all you did was distribute condoms and lubricants. But again, I'm really overwhelmed by the knowledge that you have given to me, that you are on decision and planning bodies for the nation of Kenya. That is something that we should all be proud of. But this is a lot of advancement that you have made. And yet, PIDS, HIV, is still present in our communities.
Yes.
I believe that the reason you still exist is because queer communities are facing those extra challenges. Kenya is one of those countries in Africa that criminalize homosexuality and therefore affects transgender people too.
Yes.
How does this help you or hinder your advancement in what you do for LGBTQ plus communities, men who have sex with men? I mean, it creates inequalities, and this year's theme is End Inequalities and AIDS. How are we going to do this if the inequality is still there, if injustice is still there, if homophobia is still there?
I thank you for that. And you have indicated, it's true. We are still criminalized population. We can be arrested for 14 years if you are found having sex with other men. So, and with that, it hinders a lot to do our work. For example, people have that fear. Even as I said, that 6,500 people get services at our clinic, it doesn't mean all those people come to our clinic. Sometimes we go to where these people are. So there's a lot of homophobia within the society, the larger society, even within the larger civil society that we work with. You've seen that when you started this work, it wasn't easy. You'll go somewhere, you cannot even have a coffee with somebody because people think that homosexuality is contagious, So we have come a long way even to have even other civil society supporting us. Still, even here in Kenya, as much as we have ISHTAR's coming, because it's filling that gap that is not our government is not able to give services to our community. People cannot be able to get services in a private or in a public hospital or facility. So we come there as a gap to give information, to give the services to our community. But still, you find that when you see day to day, like for example, we'll think before the World Days, they've seen people advertising about HIV. There's no way that they'll show that you can get HIV through anal sex. There's no way they can tell you. All adverts, they only show that for me to get HIV or to contract HIV is between a man and a woman. And that's the only way people that we grow up, that's the only information that people have out there, that for me to get HIV is between man and a woman. So so people think that if Peter Njane is having sex with another man, I'm safe because you don't have that information. I've never had sex with a woman. So meaning if I'm having another man who have never had sex with a woman, we are both safe. Yeah. So those are kind of information that is not out there, and
there's still lack of information.
People out there, and even as much as I said, we work with the National AIDS Control Council, the coordination for HIV here in Kenya. Still, you find that they don't come out clearly saying that, well, we have these people existing, and these are the kind of services they need. Still, they try to hide things. But every day we keep on fighting for our existence and for people to have information about.
MSM named in the National AIDS Policy of Kenya.
Yes.
Are they named?
Yes, they are.
Is it added there visibly?
It is added, and I can say what I'm happy to say how we started this. This I remember in the year 2005. Where we started having conversation with the National AIDS Control Council. And that time they never thought that we exist in this country, so they had called us for a meeting. And during that time, they were doing their National AIDS Strategic Plan. And you know what they did, and I remember very well, and I keep on saying this, I remember that particular time we appeared in that strategic plan, but it was just one sentence. And the sentence was like this: we acknowledge that men who have sex with men exist in this country. Full stop. I'm telling you,
nothing about the plan for this. Nothing about how we are going to address.
Let me tell you, we did a party. You know how you used to organize party. We celebrated. That was the first time they mentioned.
That was a huge thing.
Just mentioning a sentence. I remember it was on page 16. Just one sentence like this, that we exist, and it was there. But other program, they will say, these are their needs, and even they put program, they'll do budget, but as it was just one sentence.
Just one short sentence.
Short sentence.
Short sentence.
These people exist. Full stop.
Well, again, I see advancement from that. Where we celebrate
so from that sentence to 2 pages to a full paragraph now to pages now,
and to you on the committees.
Exactly.
On the planning committees. About how many MSM or openly gay people are on these committees?
So I'm the only one in that committee.
Yeah.
But we have in that committee we have because we are representing the key population. So there is me, and then there is a female sex worker representative.
Yes, also. That's another.
But we represent now the whole key population in the country.
Oh, wow.
So as key population, we have 2 votes in that committee.
Wow.
So which is really and I remember, and let me say I can give I want to give the our members and to say that we were doing the global fund writing. You know how global fund works. Last year we were doing the writing for the country. So that because the funding was coming to an end in this June, is coming to an end. So we have another tranche of funding for the next 3 years. So when you are doing the concept for last year for the country now, so that you can know how magnified this time, I know how the powerful this seat I see that how it means. So what happened is that we had because what happened, the money comes from Geneva, it's given to the government, and then it's given to other 2 NGOs. Or 2, they call PR. It's given to those 2. That is Kenya Red Cross and AMREF, so that it distributes now funding to the rest, others. So what happened actually is that we had a proposal that this money goes to. There was a proposal that money goes to one NGO instead of the 2, and we have been working with Kenya Red Cross quite well. So the government itself tried to what can I say? The process was didn't go on well. We didn't agree with it as key population because we felt that if another organization comes, takes over, it will take time for them to understand us, to know us.
Yeah, you'll be starting from scratch.
Exactly. And we had tried to work with them, but they were kind of homophobic. So it's something that we had seen in it. So we knew if the funds goes there. So we refused categorically.
Yeah.
You know, Victor, we refused. And then they came and they did what do you call it? They kind of voted against us. So we were the minority. And they sent the document to Geneva. And then we later sent a demand letter to Geneva saying that we don't agree with that decision that Kenya has made. And it was returned back to the sender. And luckily, there was a document that we were supposed to sign, which was signed by 3 people. One is the chair, and the chair is the PS of health. And then that's be signed by KP, key population representative. That was me.
Which is you.
And I had refused with whatever decision they had made. I had to be begged to come in. They had to agree now to our decision. There's no that body will have come to Kenya. I had to sign that document personally. I had to sign it. And they agree with term and condition that we had said earlier.
Yeah. And I think that this helps for our communities to be considered in all the interventions. You Pete's ISHTAR are doing amazing work. Not only for MSM communities, not only for LGBTIQ plus communities, but for Kenyans.
Yes.
Gay or straight, you are doing amazing work. But again, back to, I think that I want to go to a little bit to numbers.
Yes.
And so that we see how things have progressed in our communities in Kenya when it comes to HIV and AIDS. The World Health Organization, gives some figures. It says in 2020, there was an estimate number of 37,700,000 people living with HIV and AIDS. In 2020, there were deaths. 1.5 million people died of HIV and AIDS, and blah blah, a lot of numbers. And I'm wondering where are we in terms of those numbers in the LGBTQ plus communities of Kenya, queer communities of Kenya? How are our numbers? Is there a contribution to these huge numbers here by the World Health Organization? Is it a huge contribution, or has there been a reduction, say, in the number of people living with HIV and AIDS in Kenya, or acquiring HIV AIDS in Kenya, queer people, and also in the access to ART, the therapy, and also the deaths? Our deaths in the community, queer community, is increasing or reducing? Are there any numbers that you can share with us?
Okay, to start with, for example, and I'm glad that you have asked. There's some data I'm going to send to you. Some data that you are working on within the National AIDS Control Council. So currently, we in Kenya is estimated that we have 1.5 million people. 1.5 million people who are HIV positive or are living with HIV here in Kenya. But I don't have the exact numbers of the MSM or the gay people who are carrying HIV and AIDS. But what I can say, I can give the data from the organization at ISHTAR. As I said, we have reached 6,500 people. And out of this, 300 of our people are HIV positive. So you can do that number. I don't know what percentage of number is, but we have, but currently we have 300 people, and around 150 people are getting ARVs from our clinic. That's a huge number.
That is a very huge number. And is this number steadily increasing or steadily reducing, or is it just?
It's surprisingly it's increasing. Because by last year we were around 245 last year. This year you can imagine the number. You can see the number has increased almost 300 people. So meaning, and this is ISHTAR only.
This is just ISHTAR. Do you
This is
attribute
just
this to the homophobia, transphobia that is
yeah,
current in our systems?
exactly. Yeah, it's transphobia because, as I say, we are a criminalized population. People don't know
Mm,
where to get services. People also there's a lot of poverty amongst our community. So people don't know
mm,
how to negotiate safer sex. People
mm,
don't know. Uh, if at all they have unprotected sex or risky sex, where can they
mm,
run to in the next 72 hours? They don't know. Don't have that information. That information
mm,
is out there, and people will
mm,
feel like people will feel like if I go to ISHTAR,
mm.
I know I'm getting services there, automatically I will be labeled I'm gay,
Yeah.
So yeah, and we have these people, and most of our young, most of the population of our members are young people, the age of from 18 to around 24, and they are very, very active
Mm,
sexually, and
mm,
and being that active sexually is meaning that they need to protect themselves, but they don't know where and how to do that.
mm.
Yeah.
This is really, really, really interesting information. Of course,
Mm.
discouraging in one way or another.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I just wanted
And
to
the other
ask.
thing, sorry to cut you short, and the other thing I
Yeah.
need to mention is also about the young people. We're having
Mm,
young people from as age as 14, 15, um, uh, contracting HIV and AIDS. These are people in high
mm,
school. The small,
mm,
the young, we are calling them the young MSM now. A
mm,
trend has really come. We have seen a trend of them, most of them starting getting STIs, a lot of STIs we are treating. And a
mm,
lot of STIs meaning people are having unprotected sex. So when you have, if we get a data of a lot of STI, meaning the next thing is HIV and AIDS. So you have having a lot of these young people
mm,
getting HIV. But the good thing, we according to our policy, there's the policy now. It allows that to give services or to do HIV testing to as low as 15 years. So at least
mm,
that has been worked on, and we able initially these people will come to our clinic. We'll give them services, but do not report them. They will not appear anywhere in our data since they are below 18. But now I think 2 or 3 years in Kenya, the policy has changed, and we're able to give services to somebody as much as is 15 years without the consent of the parent.
So from what
So
I
that
have heard is there is a fully developed clinic at ISHTAR MSM
yes,
and
we are like a level 2 hospital. We are
level
registered
two
under level
hospital.
2. Yeah.
Do the communities, other communities, that are not queer, are they
Mhm.
aware of this clinic?
So
Is it
yes and
something
no.
that you will talk about here and then
Mhm.
there will be a problem?
No. I think one, we are registered. We are registered under the Ministry of Health. We are working in coordination under the Ministry of Health, and we are registered under level 2 hospital. So you are well recognized, and we have a clinician, we have nurse there.
Mm,
It's a full-fledged like hospital. So for me, I don't think we could have such kind of a problem.
okay.
It's a clinic that is well known. We report to government, and all documentation is done. So I
Wonderful.
think for me, we've no worries. And even when looking at our website, we all give even direction where we can find us. We can find us on the Google. So it's
Yes.
actually, we are like an open clinic. Although yes, we take security very seriously.
Yeah.
I think those are kind of things that we do.
Mm,
And where we are very safe. Is a safe area. Is a
mhm,
place that we are connected with all the security
mm.
machineries, and we are always alert.
Wonderful. And
Yeah.
then in the same breath, you mentioned that these figures that you gave us were just for ISHTAR MSM. The question
Yes.
is, are there other organizations in Kenya that are dealing with LGBTQIA plus HIV issues? And also, does ISHTAR also reach out to women? What is the case with women who have sex with women in Kenya
Okay.
and
Thank you for.
protection?
Mm,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you for that. So ISHTAR, as you know, is one of the oldest organization in Kenya.
Yes, I
Yeah,
know
and
it
is the
very well.
yes, yeah, and also it's the first organization to come up with a clinic. An MSM, a community-led MSM clinic. We are the
Mhm,
first people to start, and we have mentored other organizations to do the kind of work we are doing.
mhm,
So currently, I know Global Fund is giving to almost 215 15 organization in the country,
mm,
MSM led organization in the country. and they are going to increase as we go on. I think by this year some more will come in. So we have other organizations that you have mentored to do the kind of work we do, and meaning that we have very much recognized that even at the national level they have brought other countries from other national council from other countries to come and visit us. In fact, like last year, we were visited by almost 15 countries came to visit from Africa.
That's in Africa.
That's in Africa, yes. Yeah, from Africa. They came to visit us through their national council, and they'll get back to the national council. Yeah, it shows that, and because they want to do a program like the way we are doing, and they'll come and learn from us. In fact, at one particular time, I told the National Control Council, I think we need to start charging you, because every visitor is coming to, and we waste like a whole day. Because it's kind of disrupt the work we do. But for me, what I was happy about is that recognition by the council that we are a center of excellence. People can come and learn the kind of work we're doing, the kind of impact it has done. And this is community. In fact, when we started, people thought that community themselves cannot be able to manage themselves. People thought that we cannot even get funding from Global Fund, from PEFA. People thought we cannot get money from PEFA. It's only from and what used to happen, Victor, is that this money will come to the mainstream NGOs. They'll get the money, and then they tell us to mobilize. We'll be the mobilizers only. Our work is just to mobilize educators. That's it. So now you're managing people. We are able to give services to our community, and it gives a lot of impact to the community. So we have mentored some other organization outside Nairobi, even in the rural part of the country, Kisumu, Mombasa, Thika, and they come and to us. If they need something to learn, we're able to go to them. They come to us, so we do an exchange program together, and it's been wonderful. That community, they have had a lot of impact down there. They can feel the services. At least a lot of this filling the gap is known. Condoms and lubricants are not being distributed by the government. We get our lubricant written GOK free.
It is not what you used to do before. Go for a conference and then
you remember I used to go to a conference. I carry my luggage as lubes and condom, and people laugh at me at the airport. I remember
those days you would go to South Africa for a conference.
I landed at JKIA with bags or with boxes of lubricant, and we were just laughing like, what are these? Or like, these are condoms and lubricant. They're like, really? You are bringing, instead of your luggage, you are carrying.
Our viewers, Peter and Njane has come a long way. I've seen the passion in him to serve his community for years. We used to go for conferences in South Africa or somewhere in Europe, and those condoms and safety items they would put for the attendants or the people attending the conference. You should pick about 2-3 for the night. Pete and some of the activists I saw would pick everything, but it's known for their use for the night. Take back to Africa, because we didn't know dental dams, we didn't know, not much about condoms, we didn't much about lubricants. People used soap and Vaseline as lubricants,
saliva.
So people like Pete, this is what they used to do: pick everything, sweep everything from the conference for their communities. And now it is very encouraging to see that they've moved beyond that and have worked with the government, and the government now gives them condoms, lubricants. That is a very, very big achievement. Pete, I think that you guys have contributed a lot to this change in Africa, and I hope that other countries also are having similar advancements, and that you will be there for those that want to get to those heights. Women who have sex with men in Kenya. Women who have sex with women in Kenya.
Yes.
How is that going?
So we on my level, we try to bring them at the national level about women. But the thing about, as I said, when I say research and everything, is about evidence-based.
Yeah.
So we don't have data to show how if women are at risk.
At risk, yes.
At risk, because we now that's with the funding, with
Yeah.
the policy change. They have to have that evidence to show how women are at risk.
And that research
We,
hasn't been done yet.
so no research has been done. We don't have any data concerning that,
Yeah.
about women who have sex with women, how safe
Mm.
are, what are their recommendation.
Mm.
But we know they are at risk. But I think until that moment that we can have a research that is dedicated to women,
Mm.
and give
Mm.
us this evidence, because it has to be scientific proven evidence that they are at risk. So
Mm.
nevertheless, it doesn't mean that you don't give them services. We have
Yeah.
partnered with an organization called MOA,
More
and
minority women in action.
Minority Women in Action is a
Mhm.
lesbian organization, and
Mm.
we give them services. But the
Yeah.
problem is that as much as we give them services, we don't enter their data, because our data is just, it has a provision of either
MSM.
MSM
Yeah.
or transgender. That's what we
Yes.
can fill in. So
Yes.
our counselor, sometimes they come as partners. We have seen them, most of them coming as partner, getting services. Even some of
Yes.
them are getting ARVs at our center.
Mm.
Yes.
Well, Peter, and I think that, well, when you say more, I remember the days, and I see how far we have come as a community. Peter, somebody from Kenya, a young person, a young man who has sex with men, might be watching us and listening to
Yes.
us. What
Yes.
would be your message for that young man, old man, today? And
Yes.
could you please invite them for whatever services?
Yes.
And where can they find you as ISHTAR?
First and foremost, I want, and this is what happened to most of the people. You come out as, you find yourself, you're gay, but you don't know where to go. You don't know what to do. You think you are the only one. You are in your own world. You want to say that we have a place for you. We have a safer space for you. Our clinic is in Nairobi. You can Google us, ISHTAR MSM. We'll have our contact there. You can check our Facebook. It's ISHTAR. We're in Instagram. We are on Facebook. We are very, very active on Facebook. On all activity that we do on Facebook. And it doesn't mean it's all about HIV. We also have moments that we have fun. We have party, like now we want to organize a party before the end of the year where people can come and socialize. People can come be themselves, even if it's for that day. So you are welcome to our organization. Come meet the family. Come have a chat. It's not a place that means that every time is about HIV, is about whatever. You can come have fun. We can come, we gossip together. We love gossiping. We love having fun. So you are welcome at our organization, and don't be there alone. You can contact us. You can feel free. And sometimes we have people who are going through a lot of difficult. Just write to us, tell us your needs, and we're able to advise you. And if we don't give that services, we can reconnect you to where you can get the services.
And believe me, Pete, if
Yes.
you're out there in Kenya and you're looking for fun as a queer person, Pete is the person to hang out with. I
Yes.
never got bored every time I was with Pete. We worked and we played, and it was all good.
Yeah.
Bates, I know that, and I'm not ending with this because it's the least, but it is because it's also very important. And I know that ISHTAR lost I think one of the founders, Emmanuel Kamau and Ivy.
Yes.
Yes, would you like to tell us a little bit about the founding, which should have come first, of ISHTAR?
Oh,
and
yeah.
These amazing people. What's the name? Emmanuel and Larry Miseda. I think that ISHTAR has had very, very wonderful people.
Yeah. So what I can say is that thank you for reminding. Auntie Ivy was one of the founders of ISHTAR. They started a long time ago in 1997 when ISHTAR started as a male sex work organization. They started as a support group for themselves. Unfortunately, during the World Social Forum that happened in Kenya, that's in 2007, that was the first time we as queer came out, and we brought people from East Africa. We had our tent. We had our tent at that particular time.
What was it called again?
World Social Forum.
No, the Q Spot. It
The
was
Q
the
spot,
Q spot.
exactly. Oh, it was called the Q spot. Yeah. So and you know that time I think we were so happy for us coming together. You know, us
Yeah.
coming out, and most of that of us went to the media. What?
Yes, I
Yeah, it
remember.
became breaking news,
Yeah.
and unfortunately we were not prepared. The aftermath of that.
The
So
aftermath
what
was
happened?
huge.
We were not ready. So we were just there being queer, you know, being ourselves. And unfortunately, some of us, those founders were kicked, had to leave the country because
Yeah.
there was a lot of homophobia. There was a lot of some of them could not even continue to do studies. There was a lot of
Yeah.
discrimination at the workplace, discrimination at home. Some were kicked out from by the landlord, and that's how even Auntie Ivy and Larry had to leave the
Love.
country.
Yeah.
And now we had to back to go slowly again and
Mhm.
re-energize and you know and be trained how to handle ourselves because we didn't know the risk
We
management.
used to be like
Yeah, we didn't know the risk management. Don't need to just you know the media comes to just talk the way you want to talk. You know, not knowing that you're going back home alone. You know, but we've learned a lot.
I
We
remember
have.
that during the World Social Forum, we actually
Mhm.
marched. You guys led us into a
Yes, we
march
must. Yeah, remember we must.
as queer
It
people.
happened in a stadium. It
Yeah.
happened called Kasarani International Stadium, and we march around called saying gay, we are transgender and everything. And trust me, let me tell you, Kenya went to breaking. It was breaking news
It was
in
breaking
Kenya. It was
news. Yeah.
breaking. The TV station now started focusing on us.
It
It
was so
became
bad that when we
yeah.
went back to Uganda, we
Uh-huh.
actually found the
Uh-huh.
news already in Uganda.
Mm-hmm.
And some people actually got in trouble for attending the World Social Forum in Kenya.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But it was a defining moment also for
That was
East
a defining.
Africa. Yeah.
Clearly it was a defining moment for the queer movement in East Africa, particularly Kenya and Uganda, because that's the time we were really, you know, we had the energy. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
We've lost a few activists since then,
Mm-hmm.
but their spirit live on
Yeah.
with us, and it is very, very encouraging that a lot of activists are still standing, that
Mm-hmm.
Pete's you're still there and doing amazing work, and that
Yeah.
Ishtar is still
Mm-hmm.
standing. It's
It's
not
still
easy
standing.
for an
Yeah.
organization to go this way
Mm,
steadily, but I see Ishtar going, higher and higher, just like Spectrum in Uganda. There are some
yes.
organizations that have just been, following, and I think that East Africa has done
Mm-hmm.
amazing work for our
Mm-hmm.
communities.
True.
Pete, in closing, I would
Mm-hmm.
like you to make a call, first
Mm-hmm.
to your government,
Mm-hmm.
second to human rights defenders and activists,
Mm-hmm.
not only in Kenya but
Mm-hmm.
worldwide,
Okay.
because the theme is
Mm-hmm.
end inequalities and AIDS. This is
Yes.
very important to us.
Yeah. Yes. So first and foremost, I like to say I'm happy that we in Kenya, at least we work with some arm of the government, namely the Ministry of Health. We have really worked together with them. They give us the medicine, they give us the test kits, they supply us with even capacity building with our people. We report to them quarterly. So I think that partnership is still there. But honestly, they still work to do. There's a lot of homophobia, there's a lot of transphobia within the mainstream organization, within the Ministry of Health. In the country is still homophobia. So there's still homophobia. So with this year end inequality, I think I'm calling upon the Kenyan government to abolish the law that criminalizes. We are still criminal despite whatever we do in our bedroom. So I think for me, as much as we want to play it safe in our bedroom, please protect and let us be safe in our own bedrooms. The other thing I want to say is to care to the world that at least I can say we are a bit recognized in Kenya, and that means that at least we can have imagine have not all country can have such a clinic that we have. So I think we also want to recommend the Kenyan government, the Global Fund, the donors who tells the government that until you make sure that these people are on the table, they have to be part and parcel of decision making if you need this money. I think that's what happened to the Global Fund. Global Fund had to force the country and tell them, if you want this money, you have to make sure that key population, namely the key population, has to be part of the decision making. And I'm glad that that happened, and we are able to have funding even as a community organization. Lastly, to say that HIV is still there, and work is not yet done. So my people, my community, please play it safe. Come to our clinic, and if you are not in Nairobi, get in touch with us. We are going to give you a contact to an organization that is near you. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Peter Njane, my friend and comrade. And I think that this was a good reunion, and we'll be having more of you this time, because I think our viewers will be happy to hear more about your bigger work, because you're more than an HIV activist, but you have contributed tremendously to the struggle, human rights struggles in Africa. We've been together in Banjul, the Gambia, South Africa, in Europe, in the US, and you have done amazing work. So you'll definitely be back here at some point to just share with our viewers what you have done. Thank you so much for what you're doing for our communities in Kenya. Pete, thank you for your bravery, for standing amidst all the challenges that you face as a defender. You have done amazing work, and I greet the rest of your team that you work with, and I salute all activists, LGBTQ activists in Kenya. You are a force to look at and for us to borrow from. Au revoir.
Okay, bye. Good night.
Bye-bye. Good night. Yes, that was Pits Njane from Kenya. You all heard. Homophobia, transphobia is still very active in Kenya, and so it is. And just like in all the other countries, and that actually drives AIDS. With homophobia, transphobia, or any form of inequality, a chance is given for the virus to spread. In this century, in this decade, we shouldn't be looking at what drives HIV and AIDS. We call upon everybody to stand up in this new commitment that we are making on World AIDS Day 2021 to confront all forms of inequality, to confront homophobia, to confront transphobia, to confront sexism, to confront racism. All forms of inequality drive HIV and AIDS. The scourge still exists, but 1.5 million people died in 2020 of HIV and AIDS in the world. About 37,700,000, according to the World Health Organization. 37.7 million people are living with HIV and AIDS. We still have a long way to go. There have been achievements, advancements, but still, let us renew our commitment to fight against HIV and AIDS. That was Peter Njane from ISHTAR MSM. He's actually the executive director of the organization, an HIV/AIDS activist, and a renowned LGBTQIA+ human rights defender in Africa. Thank you so much, Pete, for blessing us. Thank you so much, ISHTAR MSM, for the work that you do for MSM communities in Kenya. And thanks to all the activists out there who are working tirelessly to see that our queer communities actually have access to information, access to medication, access to services that will help to reduce the spread of HIV and AIDS in our communities. Thank you very much, and see you next time.